Good day. Hi, everyone. This is part 3 of the theory of all of us. Here we're going to go into time-space matter a bit more, some time fluctuations, and singular entirety. Last time, we started on page 10 of my paper. Quantum leaps function the same as muon waves. So why not time, as it is also a wave field that moves similarly to light waves? We use the formula for orbit, arc, and ripple. And orbit is Fg equals big G m1 m2 over r, where F equals force, mass times acceleration. Big G equals Newton's constant, which is 6.673 times 10 to the negative 11th over Newton's times meters squared per kilogram squared. The small m is the mass of the first planet or mass or particle, and small m2 is the mass of the second planet mass or particle. R equals radius, and small g is acceleration due to gravity. Arc is R equals v, Stefan Boltzmann constant, velocity, sine, instantaneous change over angular position, over the small g, centrifugal acceleration, times the wave field. And c equals the square root of g gamma wave over 2 pi tan times Planck's constant times 2 pi d over wave field. There's more in this if you'd like to see the actual denotations. And I'll move on to this. These concepts can assist us to formulate designs for moving into time wave fields. Since our awareness is now a continual now position, we need to rethink how time moves. The ripple is caused by our moving forward in time. But if you turned a water ripple on its side like an arc, you can see then how part of it is above the water and part of it is below the water. It is moving slower where we can see it and faster where we cannot. If we are able to move into another dimensional field, we should also then be able to move time very quickly. My formula, which is the initial application using Schrodinger's continuity probability equation with the concept that t-time Cartesian coordinates begin where x and y axis meet at the value of 0, which is different from Schrodinger, meaning time placement on the wave function. To move into a non-entropic field, we consider the variances. The particles moving into a non-entropic state therefore must be moving at a double negative wave function. The unit constant is S equals 1 sec per sec. And I have a derivative of time over a derivative of time where the electric charge density times the radius times time times the inverse conjugate times J, which is the time field, equals time 0.5. This means that when a particle moves into a non-entropic field, its time frame speeds up by the inverse square root of the initial time sequence framework using the ripple flux projection of the wave variable. And this is my little diagram. You can see how outside of the magnetosphere of Earth, time is moving at a double negative pace. And when it moves into the magnetosphere of the Earth, it moves at a double positive pace. Now we're going to move into electromagnetism. The lodestone was once a sign of power. Those who had one were considered special or shamanic, for it magically always pointed north. Of course, we know what the material is, ferrous rock, Yet it is still a magical thing to a child when they first see a magnet work. It is much the same to us when we look to Polaris, the North Star. It is the only star in the sky that seems never to move. Magically, we know it points to the north and is our guide towards the center of our galaxy. Magnetics refer to opposites, yin, yang, black, white, positive, negative, and how they either repulse or attract. As we have discussed, all building blocks of biological nature contain magnetic charges, and that goes for everything we know of. Even in the greater universe, particles are attracted by gravity and magnetic attraction. This is why I say the universe is driven by magnetics. Electromagnetism can be healing or harmful depending on the frequency. All magnets carry charge, amplitude, double polarity, and a magnitude. How much oomph does it have and from how far away? We can calculate the angle of magnitude for any magnet at rest, but what happens when the magnet is spinning, and in particular when it is circular and spinning? This is my exploration. We attempt to simulate the Earth by creating a core magnetic field surrounded by matter. Nikola Tesla, who I ascribe to be the father of electromagnetism, knew this to be the only safe manner of delivery of magnetic power, as the Earth herself demonstrates this. But the most important thing he gave us was not electricity, it is resonance. For actually, resonance is what entanglement is all about. Resonance is a mathematical equation and can be measured in lengths and circumferences, but is more than that. It is really about the frequency harmonization and can be likened to octave scales. For musicians, the perfect fifth is a harmonic repeating constant, much like the Fibonacci sequence of music. It resonates and can be amplified by shape and crystalline structure, such as the tetrahedron or as in piezo strips. Resonance feedback frequency affects biological tissue and matter, but like I said, some of it can be harmful and some of it can be healing. Tesla coil technology made with windings of copper wire using a primary and secondary coils, and that being that the primary is exactly 75% shorter than that of the secondary, creates resonances as if they were within a polarity field. This type of resonance creates negative ions and is highly beneficial to human beings and biological tissue. Tesla's idea to use the power in the ionosphere to power the Earth was turned around and made into a weapon through changing the frequency to microwave. In order to neutralize these waves, we must cause a resonance to cancel it out. Biofrequency resonance operates at B flat, stimulates the pineal gland, and gives a sense of well-being. Microwaves destroy biological tissue and actually cooks it, causes earthquakes, and makes people warlike and angry. In order to counterbalance this, we create a magnetic field which can cancel out the harmful waves. We can do this by using the Hallbreck array formation in a circular form and cause these circular magnetic structures to spin opposing each other. Not only will this operate as a mini magnetospheric shield, but gravity will no longer affect the interior space or the vortex that is created by this action. If we amplify this field using grid diode and spark gap technology, we may be able to cause a ship to leave the orbit of the Earth and travel through space relatively easy without using fuel. I have designed another array formation that will allow magnetic teeth to cause circular magnets to spin, repulsing each other, which I call the chapel array. It consists of 4 north-pointing faces and 4 south-pointing faces of square magnets glued together to form a diamond shape. Then the southern end is inlaid into the material of your circular wheel, so you only have the north facing up. Much experimentation is needed in this field, and I believe that intergalactic space travel will be possible through this means. My little diagram. Now we move into singularity. Each event time frame, physical manifestation, star, planet, person, or thing can be considered a singularity, something unto itself, considered a separate entity from other perspectives and beings. All this is necessary in order to scrutinize a singularity or event. Yet this perspective is hindered by the perception of separateness. Truthfully, since all things are interconnected, singularity is an illusion, but an important one. That being said, one must come to terms with events and phenomena that heretofore no one had no knowledge of previously, liken my perception of singularity to such as this: that each cell in the body is a singularity, made of other singularities, each of which will eventually collectively evolve into something else, but only when it is ready. It is called the law of evolution and the survival of the fittest that causes us to grow and change according to our environment. Each cell works harmoniously or does what it has been programmed to do. It is a map of the greater universe and demonstrates the dynamic of how singularities are meant to work separately, but together. The law of evolvement shows us that each individual will follow the stages of growth set out in physical manifestation and spiritual awareness until such time that they reach their entirety. There are many theories about multi-universes and potential dimensions wherein various other parallel universes exist. I personally have seen such visions of myself doing other things, 3 at once in fact, while in awakened state. The strange thing was that we looked at each other, and I knew that the other person that was seeing me as I was seeing her. This was very curious to me. Since then, I have realized and theorized that entirety is the manifestation of all levels, both physical and non-physical planes, at the highest developmental evolutionary state of all of us, meaning all of me. All of the me's in every dimension, in every time frame, in every universe. When that happens, I may become a divine being, or maybe a star, or maybe both. Some refer to this consciousness as star consciousness. The entirety of our whole consciousness exists separately in many forms and dimensions as we travel and work our way through the trees of life, which encompass all the different aspects of the stages of growth from demonic to angelic levels and everything in between. All incarnations work towards the evolvement of the species both personally and collectively. I liken my experience in this drama called my life as being a cell in the huge body called the universe, who guides me and means that I will be guided by the needs of the one and the many. I am a singular entirety. I am all of us. Thank you. More of my work will be posted online, and further demonstrations of the formulas will also be available. Please look to my channel. Thank you very much.